Hello and a very warm welcome back to my dear listeners. This is your host Sharmishta back with episode number 6 of The Strange Murders. Kiriti has more to look into now, it seems. 2 days later, Inspector Rahman paid a visit to Kiriti again. Kiriti Babu, there has been an interesting development. Apparently, Norin Mollik has a nephew. A distant relation, of course, but the interesting fact is that Norin Mollik has left his entire wealth to this nephew. He had been out of Calcutta for the last 4 months and returned yesterday. And he got in touch with us. And what is even more interesting is that this nephew, Rajib, does not want even a dime from his uncle's wealth. Kiriti merely nodded. Now comes the most interesting part. We did a background check on Rajib. The inspector paused dramatically. And his list of friends include one of the sisters. Now which one it is, that we don't know. Kiriti raised his eyebrows. Now that is very, very interesting, Inspector Rahman. What are these two sisters up to? What is strange, Kiriti Babu, here is the fact that when we asked Rajib whether he knew the two ladies, he denied it. Everyone here seems to be denying knowing one another. We now have to wait and see what Dr. Shubhimal finds out. A couple of days later, Krishna arrived at the doctor's chamber. Welcome, Miss Chaudhary. Please sit down. I'm Krishna. My sister will be coming day after tomorrow. Ah, yes, of course. Let's begin right away, Miss Chaudhary. Your time is valuable. Krishna merely smiled. Allow me to narrate a situation to you. Tell me, how would you react? You are walking down a path, a narrow path, walking. Suddenly ahead of you, you spy a poisonous snake, its hood raised. There is no way you can walk past it without being attacked. You turn around. Behind you is a little child coming down the path, unsteadily, like how they walk. What would you do then? Krishna replied immediately, I would run away from there. Simple. What about the child? Wouldn't you want to save a life? I would rather save my own life, doctor. Wouldn't you have done the same thing? Well, maybe. Dr. Shubhimal narrated the same situation to Kabiri 2 days later. At first, Kabiri let out a small shriek when she heard it. A snake? My God! What kind of a situation is this? Totally absurd. And how could you be so cruel, doctor? I mean, imagine putting a child there in such a situation. Dr. Shubhimal smiled. In another session, he asked Krishna, people within their minds have their own idea how they would like their life to be. A hope, an aspiration. What's your idea about life? Krishna thought for a moment. A lot of money in the bank, a luxurious life, a house of my own, a car, a well-educated and handsome husband, and a high position in society. But you know, doctor, these are just dreams. 99% of the times, they never become real. Dr. Shubhimal was scribbling down Krishna's words in his diary. He looked up and smiled. Don't be so pessimistic, Krishna. Dreams do turn into reality many a times. When he asked Kabiri the same question, she answered, I don't exactly understand what you mean by an idea of one's life, but honestly, earning a living like the way I am doing does get a little tedious at times. I would rather... Yes, please continue, Kabiri. I would rather have a small, healthy family of my own. Life would still be nice together amidst all ups and downs. There would be no scope of any trouble or misunderstandings among us. Of course, what's life without little hiccups here and there? I do understand that. And moreover, I feel we are the ones who create a sense of have-nots and wants in our own minds. It's our fault. Wealth cannot buy peace of mind. It has to come from within. Yet another evening, Dr. Shobimal was listening to some music on the radio while waiting for Krishna. So engrossed had he become that he didn't hear her enter. When she called out a second time, he opened his eyes. "Oh, Miss Chaudhary, I'm sorry I didn't hear you. Please sit down." One moment, let me shut off the radio." "But why, doctor? Let it play. Lovely music." "No, Miss Chaudhary, your time is valuable and we have work to do. Duty first." Krishna smiled. "You remind me of my father, doctor. For him too, there was not a moment of relaxation in his life. It was always duty first, work, work, and work." "Oh, is it? I would love to meet your father someday." "No, no, no, no." Dr. Shobimal was surprised at her vehement refusal. "But he does not meet anyone, nor does he like talking much. He converses very less with us too. Now, what are we doing today, doctor?" Dr. Shobimal realized Krishna did not want to discuss her father. "Nothing much. Tell me about yourself, Krishna." "There's really nothing much to tell, doctor. A childhood I hardly recall. Then education. Then this job at the telephone exchange. Not a very exciting life." When Kaveri visited him for her session a day later, he was in his chamber reading a book. "Good evening, doctor." "Good evening, Kaveri. Please sit down." Kaveri grinned. "Can I ask you something today?" "Yes, please go ahead." "Whenever I visit, you are reading. Don't you like going out or going for movies?" "Well, I do go for movies if there's a good one in town." "You like going out or to the movies?" "Oh, I love both, but not possible whenever I want to, that is." "Why?" "My father, he doesn't like it when we go out. He'd rather we stay home. Although I do go out sometimes, only he doesn't get to know." "Why?" My father loves us very much, but at times he's so queer. He never steps out himself and doesn't want us to do so either." "Any particular reason?" "I don't know. He's so affectionate, so tender. Yet he dislikes it so much if we go out, other than for our work. And we don't like disappointing him either." Two sisters, two different mindsets. Krishna, the evasive one. Kaveri, more vocal. Yet they seem united in one thing. Neither no nor in Mullik. Let's find out what happens next when I return with the next episode. Till then,